I just found out that my fiancé of 9 years cheating on me for years. I, 33M, fiancé, 29F. Heather and I have been together since we were 24 and 20. We met when she started working at my job, and we hit it off immediately. Within a few months, we moved in together and happily lived together for 3 years. When I was 28, I got an amazing job opportunity out of state. It came at a perfect time because our lease was ending, so I decided to take the offer. Heather initially planned to come with me but decided to stay temporarily to help her family take care of her sick grandmother. After her grandmother passed away, other family obligations kept coming up, so she never joined me permanently. I was gone for nearly 4 years, but we stayed in what I thought was a committed long-distance relationship, with her periodically living with me for a few months at a time. Tonight, while finishing my Christmas shopping, I remembered Heather had mentioned wanting a particular camera lens in an email earlier this year but needed to pay off some bills first. I no longer have access to that email account, but I wanted to surprise her with a gift she wanted. So, I decided to check her sent folder to find the details. Since we live together and share everything, I didn't think it was an invasion of privacy. However, what I found was devastating. She had been cheating on me for almost the entire time I was away. I'm completely heartbroken. From what I can tell, the guy lives out of state, and based on their communication I don't think they ever met up, but after doing a bunch of digging I am disgusted with what I've found and have no doubts that she cheated on me. Her email was full of videos of him FING jerking off, disgusting shit she sent him, explicit conversations, plans for a future together, etc. What makes me the most angry/upset is she even saved screenshots and audio recordings of Skype conversations and whatnot that they had. For what reason, I don't know, but it's clear to me that she loved this guy at one point. After spending the last 5+ hours searching frantically through all her personal information like a disgusting FING creep while she sleeps, it appears that their relationship ended at least a year ago. Which makes sense, because that's not too long after I got back in town. Now that I know all this, it's so obvious and I feel like a giant jackass. All those times when she was too tired to talk or was busy with family stuff, she was just talking to that a-hole. I just don't know what I should do. We just moved into our new house together this summer, we have pets together, all our finances are intertwined, we're supposed to leave in a few days to spend a week with my family for Christmas and then a week with hers, and our wedding is scheduled for next fall. What the F am I supposed to do? Is this something that counseling could even get us through? A part of me just wants to pretend I never found any of this out because it's going to completely F up my whole life, but I know I will never be able to look at her the same way again. Should I just fume about it in secret for the next few weeks so I don't ruin our family's Christmases and then deal with it? I'm so pissed off right now, but I don't want to make any rash decisions. As much as I hate my fiancée in this moment, she's all I've ever loved for the last 9 years, and if there's some way to make this work I'm willing to try. I just logically don't know how I'll ever forget the conversations they had. Please help. Updates. Now that things have settled down a little bit, I thought I would give an update to this post since a lot of you took the time to offer advice and check up on me via PM. First, I want to say I appreciate all the comments, even the harsh ones. When I wrote that post I wasn't in the clearest state of mind and was desperately trying to keep my life from falling to pieces. However, when I woke up the next morning there was no question what I needed to do. First thing, I was able to get a hold of my boss, who is an amazing guy, and let me start my Christmas vacation 2 days early. All I had to tell him was that a situation arose that is going to require me to call off my wedding, and he didn't need me to explain any further. While my fiancée got ready for work, I pretended to be asleep on the couch. She tried to wake me up to ask me about the booze, couch, work situation, but I just pretended to be really tired and mumbled that I'd text her later. As soon as she left I got busy. I quickly went to the store and got printer ink and a new flash drive, then stopped by our bank and moved half of our joint savings into my personal account. When I got home I made printouts of several of her damaging conversations, screenshots, and a few still images of that a-hole jerking off, then saved all that in a bunch pics, videos, audio recordings, etc. to the flash drive. I was able to get some of our credit cards, insurance, and other financial items sorted out to be closed or in my name only. Luckily we pay off our credit cards every month, so closing those down weren't an issue. As stupid as it sounds, one of the main things I was worried about was my pets. I wasted nearly 2 hours of my day digging through old paperwork until I found both of their adoption packets, which even though we had adopted them together, I had luckily filled everything out just in my name. I spent the last few hours that I had before she'd be home from work and packed as many of my items as I could into my truck, left copies of the printouts on our coffee table in our living room, and then took my dog and cat and all my family's Christmas gifts and drove to my brother's house. I plan on confronting her later that night, but I wanted all my important stuff to be out of the house so I could make a quick getaway after we talked. For all the people asking why I just didn't kick her out, it's complicated. The house originally belonged to her family and we bought it together. I couldn't just kick her out. If I wasn't going to be in a relationship with her, I wanted nothing to do with that house, anyway. Also, she is quite wealthy, so if either of us had the means to buy the other person out of the house, it would be her. Anyway, about an hour after she should have been home I got a text from her that said, "Are we going to talk about this?" So at that point I drove home. I don't know what I expected her reaction to be, but it certainly wasn't what I got. I figured she would be remorseful, apologetic, something, but she was just completely cold. I could tell she had been crying, but she didn't show any emotion towards me. As soon as I sat down she said she noticed the bank accounts and asked me what we were doing about the house. I tried to keep my composure, but I basically broke down and asked her if she had anything to say for herself and asked why she did this. She told me she was sorry, but that she didn't love me anymore and she planned on ending things after the holidays. Apparently she thought she'd be happy with our relationship once we started living together again, but I guess that wasn't the case. I had no idea. She started to cry a bit when she told me that she still loved the other guy, even though they supposedly have never even met. She then told me she would buy me out of the equity we have in our house if I was okay with it and that I could have what's left in our joint accounts to get a new place. I couldn't believe how cold and businesslike she was being. I didn't know this person. I said okay and left. That's how my relationship of 9 years came to an end. I got back in my truck and bawled like a FING baby. The next day my brother and I left for my parents' house and I've been here ever since. You guys were right, my family has been great. Alcohol has helped a lot, too. I still have a lot to figure out with my house and the rest of our belongings, but that's as much of an update as I can give. I haven't heard from her since I walked out. My dog and cat are here with me, so I have that, at least. Top comment. I can't believe she did not even care about the pets. What she did to you was awful, but somehow the fact that she gave no fucks about the pets either just made her sound like an emotionless robot to me. OPE responded. As much as I hate what she's done, I do think she feels guilty about this and is not making an issue out of the pets as some sort of consolation prize. This morning I got a text from her mom and sister saying they heard what happened and expressed their sadness that I wouldn't be a part of their family and wished me the best. I'm not sure what exactly she told them, but I'm at least grateful that I wasn't painted as the villain. Despite everything that's happened, I did really like her family, so it's nice to have that one small thing. A part of me wants to text them back telling them what a cheating bitch their sister turned out to be, but it's not worth it. I will never forgive Heather, but at the very least she seems to be making an effort to make a clean break without F me over any more than she already has.